Hey everybody, welcome to my video. Thanks for joining me. I'd like to do a live troubleshooting with you on a packet tracer lab here. Today it's going to be covering basic CLI commands and IP connectivity. All right, so let's hop into it. All right, so as we can see here, the issue is that router 0 cannot ping router 3. So in Packet Tracer, there's a nice feature where they show you the link lights. Green means that the link is up, and red means that the link is down. And so just right away, we can tell that there's an issue between this link here between router 1 and router 2. However, in the real world, we may not always be able to see the link lights from where we are. So let's go ahead and turn those off. And let's start from scratch. So the first thing we always want to do is to verify the issue. So the issue that we've been given is that router 0 cannot ping router 3. All right, so let's go ahead and attempt to ping router 3's gigabit 000 interface. That. Give it a second. All right, so 0% success rate here. The host is unreachable. That's what the U means. So then in order to narrow down where the issue might be, we can use another command called traceroute. So we're going to traceroute to the same IP address. Traceroute works with ping, and it'll send ping messages with ever increasing time to live set in the packet. So the first hop will be set to time to live for 1, the second hop time to live of 2, and so on and so forth. And then when the router fails, it'll send back information. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, and immediately we see that there's an issue at the 192.168.10.2. It's reaching there, but it's not going any further. And if we look at our topology here, we see that the 10.2 IP address is right here on router 1. So the ping packet is getting from here to this gigabit 000 interface on router 1, but it's not able to go any further. So let's go on router 1 and let's see what we can identify. Go to CLI, go to privilege exec mode, and then let's do a show IP interface brief. Okay, we see the gigabit 000 interface is up and up. That's this interface here. But we see for the gigabit 001 interface, it has an IP address configured on it, and it's up, but it's down. So in order for a link to be up, both sides have to be up. So what this is telling me is that this side of the connection is good. The router 1 side of the connection is good. But there seems like there's an issue on the router 2 side. So let's go to router 2. Let's go to privileged exec mode, excuse me. And let's go ahead and do a show IP interface brief. See what we have going on. Okay, so we see the gigabit 000 interface has an IP address configured, but it's administratively down. So by default, router interfaces are down. And so you do need to bring those up. It's very common for us to forget after we configure an IP address to run the no shutdown command. I've done that many times. So let's go ahead and remedy that. We're going to go to global config mode by entering configure terminal command. Then we're going to go to interface configuration mode by typing interface, and then we're going to do the gigabit 000 like that, and then we're going to do no shutdown, just like that. All right, and you can tell that the status changed to up. We get a syslog message here that the interface is up, and if you check router 1, you'll see the same thing, that the link came up. And if you do a show IP interface again, you'll see that it's no longer down here, that it's up. The gigabit 001 interface is now up on both sides. All right, so let's go back to router 2 because there's another issue that you may have seen. So this gigabit 001 interface is up, but there's no IP address assigned to it. So it's not going to be able to ping properly because there's no IP connectivity. So let's go ahead and navigate into the interface for that. So we're going to do interface G001, and then we're going to just assign the IP address. And then we're going to give it the subnet mask. These are all /24 subnet masks for this lab. So the interface is already up. So technically we don't have to run the no shutdown command. However, I just developed a muscle memory to always run it. It's not going to hurt anything if you run it more than once. So let's go ahead and run it just for good measure to make sure that we don't forget to bring an interface up in the future. All right, and let's go ahead and bring up the interface brief here. So we're going to do a do show IP interface brief. We have to add this do command if we're not in privileged exec mode. If we're in any other configuration mode, we have to add the keyword do. And you can tell here that our IP address took, and it's now up and up. All right, so let's see what we can do now. Let's try to ping. Let's try to ping the interface. Try to ping this G000 interface. All right. So the first 2 attempts failed because ARP was going through its process, and then the last 3 passed. If you run the command again, they shall all pass because now the router has an ARP cache for this destination. So there you go. Thanks for joining me for today's lab. Again, we looked at some basic IP connectivity and how to configure IP addresses and how to configure some basic CLI commands. So thanks for joining.